So I've done a few different videos on this channel before about the different capture cards that are available to you, whether you're looking to stream gameplay footage to YouTube or Twitch, or if you're just looking to capture gameplay footage so that you can use it in pre-produced videos. A couple of years ago I did a video outlining some of the key differences between Elgato models. Then last year, for the first time in years, I tried a non-Elgato card when I started using the excellent AverMedia Live Gamer Portable 2 so I could get quicker captures thanks to a brilliant push-button design and smaller file sizes. But a few weeks ago, sadly, I had to retire the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable 2, and that is because I finally stepped up to an HDR monitor, having never had something like that before, and I really wanted to make sure that not only could I capture gameplay footage effectively, but I could still enjoy it as a gamer and appreciate the full, depth of the wide color gamut that you get from HDR, and a capture card that could handle the pass-through. Now, to accomplish this, technically there are multiple options available. However, because Elgato is such a strong brand and that's what I know, I decided I would go back to them and ultimately settled on the HD60 S Plus. And the reason for this was I knew I wouldn't quite have the same push-button convenience that I was used to with the AverMedia, but I knew that the quality was definitely going to be there, and ultimately I was going to have a really good experience that allowed me to get really good looking footage to put into my videos, while at the same time appreciating all of the gorgeous colors that come along with playing games in HDR. And believe me, if you've not feasted your eyes on the visual, candy-coated experience that is HDR gaming for titles like Resident Evil 3, Final Fantasy VII Remake, or Doom Eternal, let me assure you, those inky blacks and vivid colorscapes feel like you're playing an entirely new game. And my experience with the HD60 S Plus so far has been perfectly capable, if not sort of predictable. And I don't say that as a bad thing necessarily, I just always sort of look at Elgato capture cards as kind of like the Chipotle of capture cards in a way, because it's probably not the absolute peak of engineering that humanity could create in terms of the best way to ever capture gameplay footage, but it is consistently excellent. There's no radical departure in the software that you use to do the capture. The form factor of the hardware itself is that same rounded, nondescript pebble shape, and it does exactly what it says it does. Pass through an HDR signal to your TV while still being able to capture 1080p 60 FPS gameplay. Now, the captures themselves will not be in HDR. However, if you want to make sure that you can capture gameplay footage or stream gameplay footage while not sacrificing your own play experience in that process, this is a great option. Now, if you do want to capture HDR footage, there are options out there for you, specifically two from Elgato, but you're going to pay for it. The first is the 4K 60 Pro, which is an internal card that you can drop into a PCIe slot on your machine. I'm sure it's a solid performer, but I've always preferred external capture cards for flexibility reasons. And if you're like me, where you also like to get great quality, but you don't want to sacrifice that flexibility, Elgato has an option for you too in the new 4K 60 S Plus. What I love about the 4K 60 S Plus is not only does it capture in 4K HDR, but like the AverMedia Live Gamer 2 series, it can also dump that footage directly to an SD card and has push-button operation. In addition to that impressive on-the-go feature for media types going to events or people who just want a desktop push-button solution for capturing footage, it also touts zero lag pass-through with a capture latency of around 250 milliseconds. The only feature I kind of wish it had would be a hardware switch to also flip it into an SD card reader mode, the way the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable 2 did. Wow, that is such a long name. That way, if you weren't taking it on the go with you all the time, but maybe only occasionally, the rest of the time you could leave it kind of hooked up to the rest of your setup and then instantly start importing that footage if you wanted to dump it to an SD card. Of course, by all rights, just like I'm doing now with the HD60 S Plus, you could simply run it to your computer and just run the native capture software instead. And I did consider going for the 4K 60 S Plus as my HDR solution. However, considering it's $400 and I'm not really going to a lot of events where I need to capture footage on the go, it really didn't seem like the most cost-effective option. So that's why I decided to go for the more budget-friendly HD60 S Plus. However, if you want the absolute maximum in quality and flexibility and you've got the coin to drop, you should definitely give that a look. So that's really it for this video. I kind of just wanted to talk about my rationale behind why I chose the Elgato HD60 S Plus and my recently moving to an HDR setup for PlayStation 4 Pro and also for the Xbox One X. And the other thing too is I had to realize that with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X right around the corner, I was probably going to want something that was definitely going to pass through those gorgeous graphics when they manifest later at the end of the year. And beyond talking about sort of how my setup has changed a little bit and the reasons why I decided to go for the HD60 S Plus, I also thought it would be fun to touch on a couple of the newer models that have come out in the Elgato line since I made that video a couple years back, because it was getting a little bit long in the tooth and I thought it sort of made sense to do an update about some of the new models that are available depending on what your needs are as a gaming content creator. Now, if you have any questions about the HD60 S Plus, please let me know in the comments below and I'll definitely do my best to answer those. And if you have any questions about the 4K 60 Pro or the 4K 60 S Plus, I don't really have any hands-on experience with those units. However, if you do have questions, I will do my best to answer them. And if you are in the market to upgrade your card, I will drop links below in the description where you can purchase these if you would like over on Amazon. As always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch. I definitely appreciate all of the likes, comments, shares, subscribes, all that good stuff. If you are new around here and you haven't subscribed yet and you like either gaming content or content that is sort of focused around tips or strategy or gear for gaming content creators, that usually comes out on Thursdays. Thanks again for taking the time. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one.